Hi everyone! So in today's video we are going to present a few questions about the poverty and the consequences that it has in our society.
So we're here with teacher Jimmy and we will make him some questions. First one, what does poverty mean to you?
I think poverty means to me is when you don't have the necessary resources to buy something, to have something. So that's what I think poverty means.
Okay, next question. What do you think are the principal differences between rural poverty and urban poverty?
Okay, here in the urban areas, I think poverty is because people are lazy. Because here in the urban areas, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can work at everywhere. Now, in the rural places, there are few places to work at. So the people that work at, they're already taken. So you don't have a place to have a job.
Okay, next question. What do you think are the consequences of poverty in Mexico and how does it affect the general society?
Okay, one of the main consequences of poverty is because we are lazy. Now, most of the time we want to blame the government. Oh, the government does this, the government does that. But no, the government doesn't feed me. I work and I eat. I work, I buy my shoes. I work, I buy my clothes. So I am the person that's responsible for poverty.
Okay, and last question. What would you do to minimize poverty in our society?
I think that something we can do is that we can have programs where we talk to people and we can teach them that you don't have to live that way. You can work, you can do something simple, and that way you can have something to eat. You can have money to buy clothes, to eat, and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you, teacher Jimmy. So, teacher, this was our first interview. Bye.
Stop!
So here we are with a guest. He is Brian. He's a student at the Millennium, and we are going to ask him the following questions. So, what does poverty mean to you?
Poverty is a signal that the government is not doing their job correctly, and it's something that should not happen in any country.
What do you think are the principal differences between rural poverty and urban poverty?
The difference is the quality and the struggle people have when they have poverty. Because when you're in a city, you're homeless, or you're commonly considered a homeless. So you don't have a place to be. You sleep in the streets. People ignore you, and when you live in the outside part of the city, the thing is that you are likely to consider someone who's not acceptable, and you just don't get a job. You just don't get houses. You don't get a job, anything.
What do you think are the consequences of poverty in Mexico, and how does it affect the general society?
The problem with this is that our economy gets affected. How does this happen? For example, we have to ask to other countries to bring their projects, such as gas, such as gasoline, and all that stuff. So we have to ask to other countries to do what we can do, but we don't do because we have poverty.
What would you do to minimize poverty in our society?
There are two main problems, which is the educational system and the payment and employments people have. The thing with this is that people is not well educated, so they don't have enough preparation and they're not enough to compete with other schools. And maybe I get to study in another country, so when I get here to get a better job, I just have so much preparation than people that live here in Mexico. And the thing with people and the other problem is for us to get enough payment and to have enough opportunities, because we can go to other countries and get better payment for the same job that we do here, and we can get a better place and a better payment in other countries that we don't have here.
So thank you for your opinion.
Hi, so today we are with Paco, a student, which is going to talk about how does he think about poverty. So Paco, what do you think, what does poverty means to you?
Okay, so a good example will be Africa. As you can know, the kids of Africa they have really problems of poverty. Like they don't have something to eat, they don't have something to drink. So like that's like a good example to describe poverty to me.
Okay. So, Paco, what do you think are the principal difference between rural poverty and urbanized poverty?
Okay, so a good example, like for example, rural poverty will be like not in a city. As you can know, urban is like a city, something like that. So rural will be just like not a part of the city. It's gonna be like a town, a small town, you know, like. So I think the difference between urban and rural is that. That urban is like for example poverty will be an economy way, you know, like you don't have too much economy, that means that you're poor, like some people say that. And in rural is that like for example a family that don't have like too much resources to get to a city.
Okay, Paco, that's good. So, what do you think are the consequences of poverty in Mexico and how does it affect the general society?
Okay, espérate, ¿cuál era la pregunta?
What do you think are the consequences of poverty in Mexico and how does it affect the general society?
Okay, I think in Mexico what they affect is that, for example, the people that don't live in the city, for example, in the camps with the cows and that things. So a problem to general is that, for example, some Mexicans that don't have really good works and don't have the money to survive, they move to United States. And this problem caused to the whole world that Mexico like is having problems not only with money, with like for example families. So I think the general way that the people see Mexico in this way is that they just go to United States to have a really good life because they don't work here in Mexico. So that's gonna be the general thing.
Okay, so last question: what will you do to minimize poverty in our society?
Okay, so a good example would be Carlos Slim. Like if I have the money of Carlos Slim, they say that the money of him can reach all the kids of Africa. Like it can give food to all Africa, and it will be because for example Africa is not a poverty continent. Like Africa, it has diamonds, you know. So I think the other people that is rich explode these diamonds, and the other people that lives in the camp, they don't have that diamonds and they have that money. So I will use it with talking with politics, something like that, or talking with Carlos Slim to take this problem out of the world.
Okay, so thanks for your opinion, Paco.
Okay.
So most of the people that we interviewed said that we can get rid of poverty or we can reduce it with helping each other. For example, helping people that are in need, even though we don't have a lot of resources. If we are able to give help, we should give it. Also, that we can reduce it if the government provides more jobs and provides more opportunities for people that are poor, and that education gets better. And for example, in other hand, they were different responses from the question of what they thought about poverty. For example, some teachers responded that it's a very serious problem. Some others said that poverty gets worse with time and that we don't give the importance that it should deserve.